So the recent podcast segment with Summer Walker is a prime example how toxicity is worshipped, how being an unhealed person is put high on the totem pole, high on a pedestal, whether it's broken relationships, broken families, broken household, just not really respecting, honoring marriage. That is like put on a pedestal, like the battery in the back of those people all day. Oh, you're broken, you're unhealed, man. Let's get you out there in media. But a person that's done the work, a person that's healed, families that's intact, healthy marriage, healthy relationship that can share a positive outlook that people need to see is shunned. It's frowned upon. And it just goes to show you how right is wrong, wrong is right, up is down, down is up, inside is out, outside is in, backward is forward, forward is backward. Like everything is flipped over on its head in this world that we live in today. And let's take a look at this Summer Walker segment, this podcast, and we're gonna come back with a little bit of commentary.
When you go broke, I will leave you.
Oh.
Figure it out.
So you're here to just bleed them dry.
Yes.
As soon as you get everything, you're off. Do you normally seek out the victims, or do they come? Is it inbound calls?
Oh, no. I never chase.
So it's never outbound?
I only attract.
Inbound only.
And if you came and talked to me, that's your fault.
Right, your prerogative. You signed up for this.
Ladies, if you try to ride or die, you will, in fact, die. Don't do that no more. You look stupid.
I do want to think, and maybe this is me being optimistic, that not like 100% exclusively that will be the experience. You know, maybe there are some good dynamics still left, no?
It could be. I'm not a man hater. I don't know. I just don't like them anymore. Like,
When you say them.
Like men, I don't like to date wise. Like, y'all can provide, but like to like them, I don't know.
And see, unfortunately, we have a lot of people that see this as her, she's healed. Oh, she's going through a healing journey. I looked at the comment section of this podcast segment, and it was just a bunch of women just, oh man, kudos to your healing journey and all this other stuff. What healing journey? And for so many women to see this as healing journey and all this other stuff, I dare you to sign your son up to be with a woman like this. If your son go broke, I'm going to leave you. Men are only, I don't really like men. It's, men you're only good for providing. Like, sign your son up for this then. Ladies, if you think this is healed, you see this as positive energy, sign your son up, sign your nephew up for this, sign your brother up for this, to marry a woman like this. I bet you wouldn't. And what's sad is, this woman has 3 children. She has a daughter that she had with, I believe, London on the Track, one of the hottest record producers right now. And she has twin boys. So to put out that type of demonic message, that type of content of, if you go broke, I'm going to leave you. And then talking about all men, I don't really like men. Men, you're good for providing. Is that how you feel about your sons? Is that how you're going to feel about your sons? Is this what you're going to tell them? Your sons grow up and they see this. They're going to have questions. This is embarrassing. Is this what you're going to tell your sons? Hey, son, hey, y'all boys, y'all better make sure y'all have money, because that woman going to leave you. Because I know how I am. I used to leave the man I used to be with when they used to go broke. So I'm telling you, right, are you going to tell your sons that? I bet you not. Son, twin boys, baby, y'all are only good for providing. Like, is that what you're going to tell your sons? Is that what you're going to put in your son's head? So a lot of this stuff that y'all look at and a lot of this propaganda is ungodly. It's demonic. And the thing is that gets me about this, she only has dated celebrity men. That's the only type of men she's dated. London on the Track, that has a bunch of baby mamas. You know what I'm saying? Got a daughter with him. Got twin boys from another entertainer guy. She dated, what was it? LRVD, Pharaoh. Who else she dated? Rico Reckless. They just broke up. He's a rapper. She dated Lil Meech, rapper, actor, whatever you want to call it. She's only dated one sector of men. She has not dated a man that's marriage minded, relationship minded. You know, a man that really want to have everything going good in a relationship and his family intact. You know, a God-fearing man, a man of quality. She's not used to dating a man like, she's had a track record of dating entertaining men that's in that industry. Men that's around women 24/7, 365. That's the only type of men she's dating. Men that have crazy, ridiculous amounts of options, and that's going to take advantage of their options. Those are the type of men, that's her type. Clearly her type is not typing. But we have women out here that don't want to focus on the fact that, you know, maybe my type, I got to hold myself accountable for the type of men that I associated myself with. I've gave access to. Let me start switching things up. Hey, before I even get on these podcast segments and all this other stuff, let me go to therapy. Let me go on a real, true healing journey so I can do this thing right. So I can raise my sons to be the opposite of the men that took advantage of me or I've allowed to take advantage of me in the past. I want my sons to be the total opposite of a London on the Track that left me here to be a single mom. You see what I'm saying? None of that. Like a woman that's in a healing journey, that's what we should have been hearing in that podcast segment, right? That's what we should have been hearing. But we didn't hear that. We heard some misandry. We got to call it for what it is. I don't like men. You can provide and all this other stuff. If you go broke, I'm going to leave. All that other stuff. Misandry. Witchcraft language. Unfortunately, it disappoints me to see a lot of women supporting this. And she's going a healing path, a healing journey. No, that's a Jezebel journey. Okay? That's a Jezebel journey. And the thing that gets me is that's the only type of woman that's really marketed, that's really given huge platforms. You notice how a lot of these women in the industry, like the Cardi B, what's the topic of her career? Her marriage falling apart with Offset, the toxicity with that. Her whole album pretty much centered around the toxicity with her and the falling out with Offset. You see what I'm saying? So it's entertainment seeing a broken woman. And we're going to use this broken woman and we're going to push this out. And that's all y'all going to see, ladies. That's all we're going to give you. We're going to give you one type of black woman. We're going to give you one type of whatever woman. That's all you're going to get. And this is going to be the end all be all spokesperson for what it's like as a black woman. That bothers me. I don't like that. And then you have a lot of, man, I almost said something, but I'm going to use that for another video. But just like men, they give you a bunch of futures, procreating. They give you a bunch of young thugs. You see what I'm saying? They only give you one type of man. Why you think the industry don't give you 20 J. Coles, 20 Kendrick Lamars? These men are married. They got their family intact. You see what I'm saying? They got their family intact. Yeah, they might have gone through some things in their relationships, their marriages, but not publicly. And then I know Drake and Kendrick had that beef, and Drake pretty much kind of somewhat exposed the issues between Kendrick and his wife or whatever. Or a fiance. I don't know if they married. I think they together, but I know his family is intact, all in one roof. Put it like that. But they don't want to give you that. They don't want to give you a family that's intact. A man or a woman that can speak into a interview into how they navigate the music industry, the entertainment industry, while navigate being a husband, navigate being a father, navigate being a wife, navigate the situation of being a mother. They don't give you that. You know why? Because it's too positive. Positivity. If you get if you get 20 Kendrick Lamars and 20 J. Cole's, and then if you get 20 Shantae Moores, and they don't want to give you some of these another woman or whatever, Angela Bassett. You see what I'm saying? Married to her husband for years. They don't want to give you that. They want a bunch of broken Summer Walkers talking to women and being the end all be all spokeswoman for it. And then a bunch of women championing, talking about who, or Arsenio Haaland behind it. Or meowing behind it, shall I say. So yeah, I'm sick of this, man. I'm sick of this. And like I say, if you think that's empowerment, what that woman was talking about in that interview, sign your son up, sign your brother up, sign your nephews up for that. And I guarantee you, first of all, I guarantee you wouldn't do that. So stop acting like that's something inspirational when it's not. Summer Walker, you need to stop being a talker, and you need to go and talk to your therapist. You need to be a talker to your therapist. That's who you need to talk to. You don't need to talk on these podcasts. You got too many people talking, too many broken people behind podcast mics. Too many podcast mics going around and not enough people going into therapist offices, getting their mind right. So that's my thing. If you a woman and you know you got a history of being with a certain type of man in the industry, men in the industry, and they've done stuff to you and all this other stuff, toxicity, stop talking. Stop talking. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I've been around the industry. I've seen how some of these men act, how some of these men think. I've seen how some of these men are in relationships with women. They're in studio sessions, arguing on the phone with their girlfriend or whatever. I've seen it. I was in Vegas a couple weeks ago and I had 5 bad ones in the room I could have knocked down. They was all waiting for me to stick it in. But I'm with you. I chose you. Like, really, bruh? And the woman apologized. Yeah, I know. Forgive me. I've seen that. Can you imagine? I can imagine how these men talked to her when they got mad, when they was pissed off at her. I can imagine how London on the track got down with her, being pissed off, and he got boatloads of women that he got access to. And all these other men in the industry that she dated in the past. So to look down on men when you only been with one type of man, that's not cool. And to look down on women when you got a track record of dating only a certain type of women, that's not cool. That's trash. But anyway, man, I recommend Summer Walker to stop being a talker. Gotta go to therapy and talk in that office instead of talking on podcast mics in front of cameras. Please.